YouTube, it's Elliot here from Neanderthal Fitness, coming at you with another video. www.neanderthalfit.com. I'm a personal trainer, a fitness instructor, and a YouTube talk at you when you're in the camera, dude. So today's video is a video topic that I didn't necessarily want to cover so close to the video I made the other day, but I decided I'm going to make it anyway. It's along a similar line of thinking as the interval training, but the outcome is different. So I wanted to, touch on this with you. It's not a hot topic in the fitness industry right now, but it is a topic. It is something that I have heard bandied around in the past by a number of people. And it's a perfect example of when someone takes an idea that is a good idea, and they assume that if we apply a linear progression from there, the logical outcome is that, so if this is bad, this is better, this will be even better. That's not always the case, and this is an example of that. So the logical fallacy that has been bandied around is that walking is better as a fat burning tool than running or jogging. Now, what do I mean by this is someone doing a progression, right? So I told you in my last video that interval training is a load of codswallop. It's shit. It's not shit, it has its place, but for fat burning, it's not the most effective tool. Long, slow duration cardio is better. Now, the reason being that when you work out interval training, you are working out anaerobically. So you have two forms of cardiovascular exercise: anaerobic and aerobic. Anaerobic means you're working out without the presence of oxygen, i.e. you're working too high, too difficult a level of exercise for your body to be able to generate the energy in the presence of oxygen, i.e. you're using up energy faster than by breathing you can generate it. So when you're working out aerobically, you're creating energy in the presence of oxygen, which normally comes from oxidizing and burning fat as fuel. Now, obviously, if you're burning fat as fuel, that is an effective fat loss tool. When you work out anaerobically, you may burn, say, when you work out doing interval training for an hour, let's say, for argument's sake, you might burn 600 calories, just as a general ballpark figure. I didn't actually check the calories burned in average interval training, but let's say 600 calories, and 10% of that may be fat, because the only time you're burning fat is when you're building up to that anaerobic pace. As soon as you reach it, you stay there, and then you come down to rest. You're no longer burning fat as your primary energy source. 10% of 600 is 60, I think. My maths is probably usually terrible, but I think that's right. So 60 calories burnt in an hour is fat. The rest is glucose, energy, and from other things. So that's crap, right? Then if you run, this is based on I did do the maths on this. This is based on a 150-pound average individual. If you run at 5 miles per hour for 1 hour, you'll burn 476 calories on average. When you're running, you're working generally aerobically, but towards your aerobic threshold. You will burn approximately 30% of that energy will be fat. So in 1 hour of long, slow duration running, you will burn, I did write it down, 142.5 calories of fat. Way more than the interval training, hands down, more than twice the interval training. Fantastic, right? Now, someone has taken that to the next logical conclusion. They've said, well, if running is better than sprinting for fat burning, then surely walking is better than running. Now, walking is definitely your, most aerobic activity. Most people could do it for 5-6 hours. You might get blisters and tired, but you could just keep going. And so the assumption is that's very aerobic, so you're burning a high percentage of fat, which is not a lie. That is true. You'll burn on average about 50% of the calories you burn will be fat when you are walking, because it's very much in the aerobic zone. For a lot of people, running is, pushing it towards the anaerobic threshold. However, 50% of a much lower calorie burn is still not as effective. So again, I did the maths on this for you. So for that same 150-pound individual, they walk for 1 hour, they're going to burn 170 calories overall. So 50% of that is only 85 calories, still much less than 142. In actual fact, it does suggest that walking is a more effective fat loss tool than interval training, which really shoots in the foot these people who absolutely love interval training, and they suggest that it's like, whoa, the afterburn effect, it's so amazing. No. Your walking is actually a better fat loss tool than interval training based on that analogy. However, running is still the most effective. So, you know, people do this a lot. They'll take something and they will say, X is good, Y is better, therefore Z must be the best. And they don't have any scientific backing to do this. And, you know, that's clearly a stupid way to look at things, because you could take that to its ultimate logical conclusion. If jogging is better than running, well, okay, running is better than sprinting, jogging is better than running, walking is better than jogging, surely sitting down is better for fat loss than walking for an hour, right? Just sit down for an hour. And surely sleeping or lying in bed is even better than that. We know that's not the case. You have to have a base level of activity to be burning a decent number of calories. That base level is running. So for most people with fat loss in mind, go run. It is going to be your best friend. Just, okay, some people who are really obese don't want to do high impact stuff, so you can walk, especially doing walks up hills, or you can bicycle. What I mean by run is something that's that long, slow duration cardio. So whatever you fancy, but make sure it's that long, slow duration. You can do it for at least 40 minutes without dying, but it should still be very hard work. And, you know, do that as often as you can. If you can do that 7 days a week, you're going to burn an incredible amount of fat. And as long as your diet is dialed in too, you're going to lose weight, you're going to look great, you're going to feel great. And you can laugh your ass off at the people who say, man, I only have to do 10 minutes in the gym and I'm burning shitloads of fat. One, no you don't. And two, for the majority of people, interval training makes you feel like shit. So you might be only working out for 10 minutes, but you're working out at an extremely high threshold. And for people who are just simply quite unfit and overweight, that puts a lot of stress on the heart and the lungs, and it's not fun. You know, people end up being sick. It's not good. It's not big and it's not clever, essentially. You know, just go with what we know works. Runners are lean. Go for a run. Alright, that's the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Comment down below with what you want to see in upcoming videos. Like if you like what you saw, and subscribe. More videos come in every day for this month at least. Peace, guys. See you in the next one.